In this video, I'm going to do a quick demonstration of the ABC methods of organizing your photos. So again, A is for pictures that are album worthy, the ones that look great, the ones you definitely want to keep, you want to share because they look great or they have a special memory for you. Of course, you know, those are being things like family portraits, like school pictures, wedding photos, things like that. And then B are the ones that are the box of okay ones. So those are ones that, you know, they're maybe not the best of the best, but they also are ones that you want to keep. C is the ones that you can say are can repurpose or trash. Those are just the ones that you don't need to keep anymore, you don't want to have. And then you can also have another category called stories, where there are pictures that maybe aren't the ones that are particularly great, but there might be a story behind them and as to why you actually want to keep that photo. So let me just do a demonstration of that first. I'm going to give two sets of examples. The first one will be a little bit more of an obvious case of, you know, the ABC methods to sort your photos. So I'm going to go through my wedding photos. So my wife and I, we got married in Belize, and here are some of those photos. So these are, I'm going to say, are what our A photos are, the ones that we definitely want to keep. First, of course, I got my finger cots on to help, you know, keep the photos from getting any grease or dirt that's on my hands onto the photos. So here's, you know, a nice picture of my wife and I as we're getting toward the aisle. That's a nice one here, so definitely want to keep that one. This is, of course, family picture with myself and our parents and her parents. And this is definitely one we want to keep. Album worthy. Again, a great picture that we had of us by the beach. Album worthy. And of course, the cake cutting ceremony, definitely want to keep that. And that's a good picture of us during a special moment during the reception. So those are easy ones to kind of think of that we want to keep. Next, we'll say from the wedding, the B photos. So these are ones that maybe aren't exactly album worthy, but we definitely want to keep. So here's a nice picture of our friend. He's holding the bouquet. So we definitely want to keep that one. This one is some sister-in-law doing a speech during the reception. Again, here's one with a brother-in-law doing speech during reception. So with all of these three photos, what you can say is they're not maybe like the album. Well, they're, I mean, say they're just not the best of the best. They're just kind of, you know, regular photos, but I definitely want to keep these because they, you know, they have special meaning to us. So those will go into the B pile as an example. Next, we'll say these are going to be the C, the trash or repurposed ones. So even, you know, at a special moment like a wedding, there's going to be extra photos that maybe you just don't need or want. So here's one of the dock where we got married. Of course, this one's just a little bit off center, and we have a ton of pictures that are better of this one. So we'll just go ahead and toss that one. Here's a blurry picture of some scenery. Don't need to do that. Another picture of some scenery, but, you know, I can say it looks kind of trashy. So there's no reason to keep this one. It has no meaning to us. Here's another picture of the cake cutting ceremony. So it's a special moment, but as you can see, it's not a great picture. There's a person in the way, and the angle's off. So it's just, this one isn't worth keeping because we have other pictures that are much better of this particular moment. So again, so we'll just go ahead and say we don't need to keep these anymore. We'll just go and toss them. And then here's a couple examples of some story photos. So this one, you know, is not a great picture, but the story is, you know, it looks like, you know, somebody made a smell or something like that, and my brother-in-law is walking away. So it's a picture that makes us laugh, even though the picture itself is not, you know, it's not a traditional pose picture. Next is again, this is kind of a plain picture, maybe not really worth keeping because we have plenty of other pictures of my brother and sister-in-law. But in the middle there, you see that little hand. So that just washed up on shore, and we some friends put up on the tree, and we all took pictures with that hand because we thought it was very creepy. So it just, again, it's a story. There's a story behind it that we found that little hand and put it up, and we all had a good laugh with it. So this is something we want to keep because of that. So that can be, again, pictures that are maybe normally we wouldn't keep, but we are going to keep because there's a story behind them. Okay, next, here are some photos from my childhood. And again, you know, outside of the like the school portraits and the family portraits, these are or like special occasions that are, you know, very obvious, the ones you want to keep. Here we'll kind of go over some other ones that maybe aren't so obvious that are still, you want to say, are album worthy, that you definitely want to keep. So here's one is of my birthday. Don't have many pictures from this birthday, I believe, so we definitely want to keep this one, and it's a good picture. You can see all my friends in there and my mom in the background with all the party decorations and that wonderful 80s wallpaper in the background. Okay, next, this is a picture of my dad. He was a pilot. He was in the Air Force. It's him next to a plane, and again, it's a great photo and definitely one I want to keep and say it's A-worthy. This is one of my uncle. Don't have many pictures of my uncle, but I like this photo. Again, I think it's definitely worth keeping. This is one of my parents with a neighbor. We don't have many pictures with that neighbor. He was a great friend, and again, I'm gonna say with all these A1s, it's a great picture. You know, we see everybody smiling. It's clear. It's not blurry. Everything's centered. Album worthy. This one of my parents' anniversary, definitely album worthy. Don't have many pictures of the anniversary party of that time. So we got all the food, got the cake, they're smiling, they look happy. This is one of Christmas at our home. So it's our Christmas tree, got the presents underneath, all the decorations. We don't have many pictures of Christmas. Or excuse me, of you know, where the house is just decorated just like that. So I definitely want to keep this one album worthy. And then this is a great picture of my mom and I. You know, I think I was going to school maybe or something like that. But I really like this picture. It's a good picture, album worthy. Want to keep it. So next we'll say are the okay ones, where again they're just kind of okay, but I still want to keep them. So here's a picture of my mom. We're probably on vacation somewhere. I'm not quite sure where this is at. Nothing on the back there says, but she's you know, out in nature by it looks like maybe a pond, but you know, the composition is not great. She's a little small, but I like this picture. I definitely want to keep it, so it will go into the B pile. This is me in our RV, sleeping with our pet dog Toto. Yep, we named him Toto, and we, you know, it's kind of an embarrassing picture, but it's still one I want to keep because I like it. It's a good memory of our dog and me sleeping. Another picture of my mom. It's a good picture of mom. You know, it's not the greatest picture in the world, but I like it, and it's still one I want to keep. Here we're on vacation somewhere. I'm just standing in front of some, looks like some fake deer. You know, I had to do some research to try to remember exactly when this was from. But again, it's, you know, not the best picture in the world, but it's an okay picture, and I still want to keep it. Here's one of me in my bedroom. I'm just playing some video games with our dog Toto. You know, it's not, again, you wouldn't say this is an A-level, you know, album-worthy picture, but it shows my bedroom. It brings back a lot of memories, and you know, I want to keep this one, so this will go into the B pile. Next, we're gonna go over some ones we just want to throw away. Okay, so this is one. I think this might be of Yosemite. We went to Yellowstone, so We got other pictures, of the guys are going, and this one, it's way off to the side, and these people's heads are just kind of in the way, and it kind of takes away from the focus of it. So, because we have other pictures of the guy of, I assume, Old Faithful, we just don't need to really keep this one. So we'll go into the trash pile. Here's one of our lovely basement. It screams 70s, 80s. If you have pictures of rooms in your home, some of them you may want to keep because it gives back memories of the room. But this one's just not a good one. It's really off center. It's crooked. It just doesn't have. It's just not a great photo. So, and we have other pictures of the basement as well. So we're just gonna go ahead and throw this one away. Here's one. We're in South Dakota. Looks like we're probably at the Crazy Horse. Over seeing the Crazy Horse Monument, and I can see. So here's me and my mom back there, but it's not a great photo. This seems like the focus is really on the trash can there. So we just don't really need to keep this one. Here's one of some scenery, probably in the Black Hills. But it's just a lot of scenery pics aren't really necessary to keep. So this one, we have, again, probably other pictures, so we just don't need to keep that one. Here's one of the RV that we had growing up. I can see myself back there, so they're probably trying to take a picture of me, but I'm really dark back there. It's not a great photo, so just not worth keeping. Another scenery picture, just doesn't bring back any memories or nostalgia. So, and the picture's not really the best picture in the world either, so we'll just go ahead and get rid of that one. Here's another picture. I'm not sure where this one's at, but looks like the picture of a trash can. So this might be in Disney World, maybe, actually. But you know what? Again, but it's just a picture of a trash can, it looks like, or something like that, and just not worth keeping. And finally, here is some, again, that go into the S category. So the pictures may not be great themselves, but they bring back specific stories that and give reason to keep the photos. Here is a picture of my dad's old Cadillac. We don't have many pictures of this car, but I have so many memories of this car and riding in it. The leather seats that got so hot and then burned my skin, and but taking family trips in it, and I just have good memories of that car. So don't have many pictures of it, and this is why I want to keep it, even though the picture itself is maybe not the best. Here's a picture of my parents' china cabinet. Again, it's not a great picture. It's it's a little too up close. There's a flash right there, but we had this in our family for years and years and years and years, and all the antiques and everything that were in there bring back a lot of childhood memories for me. And so despite it not being a great picture, and we don't have many pictures of this china cabinet, so I just want to keep it for my own sake, because there's a story behind it. Here's our living room. Ooh, is that? Nope. Okay, looks like there's hair on there or something. Okay. This is a picture of our living room. So again, remember that basement photo that we said we could toss because it wasn't a great photo. So this one is a better photo of our living room. So it's a little bit more square. You can see a lot of the furniture. You can see the room as a whole. And yeah, it's just a picture of the room. But again, I have a lot of memories. It just brings back memories and nostalgia to me. And because of that, and it's a good photo of that living room, I want to go ahead and keep it. Again, because we just don't have many other photos of that room as well. So, or at least in, like this, where it's just the room itself. And I can just kind of imagine and put myself back in there. So this will be one that we'll say is a keep in the stories category. So again, that's a basic demonstration of the ABCs method of sorting and organizing your photos. You may create your own method too, and you may just say you want to keep it simple, and it's keep and not keep. But this way is one way you can then sort your photos and store them into like the best of the best, the OKs, and then ones that maybe have some unique stories to them. Thanks for watching and happy organizing.